Seattle Coliseum, the Space Needle, just outside the door. A sellout crowd of 15,000. The Lakers, leading in this series 2-0, leave the land of cans, sequins, and avocados and come to the great Pacific Northwest. And here, the rough, tough, lumberjack-like Seattle Supersonics crowd will be ready for the Los Angeles Lakers. The question is, will the Seattle Supersonics, a real Cinderella team, be ready for what was the best team in the NBA in the regular season? Doug Collins, the first problem that the Sonics had down in Los Angeles is that their emerging star, Dale Ellis, did not score well down there. What might we expect here at home out of Dale?
Well, I think in talking to Bernie Bickerstaff, he wants Dale Ellis to be a little more selfish. He only has taken 14 shots in these 2 ball games against the Lakers. They need him looking offense. We're going to see what he's going to face all day. Look at the defense. Michael Cooper harassing him off these screens. They're going to force him to catch it, put it on the floor. They're going to double team him and try to force steals like that to get the Lakers into their high-powered running game.
As we say, Dale Ellis just didn't get that many shots up during the first 2 games.
Well, you see against Dallas, 22 shots taken for 29 points, 25 for 28 against Houston. Against the Lakers, only 14 shots, and it translates into 16 points.
Now, in Game 2 down in Los Angeles, another star, the MVP of the All-Star game, forward Tom Chambers, had only 8 points, 3 rebounds, 3 turnovers in game number 2. What about Chambers coming into Game 3?
Chambers is a driving, slashing kind of player. He's not a standstill player. We look at Tom Chambers there. He must drive the ball to the basket, get to the free throw line. One of the problems with the Sonics is they have not attempted enough free throws in the first 2 ball games.
When you talk about the Lakers, you know that Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Byron Scott, James Worthy have been playing very well indeed. But perhaps one of the unsung heroes early has been, particularly from a rebounding point of view, A.C. Green.
A.C. Green gets a lot of opportunities, especially on the offensive backboard, because of the double teams by the Sonics. You're going to see him here with work around the offensive board. He makes a great rebound here, and he's going to put it up. He had 14 rebounds. They made a defensive change, though, now. They're going to put Chambers on him to try to keep him closer to the boards, keep AC off the offensive backboard.
Also, the Los Angeles Lakers were scoring at about 127 points a game early in the playoffs. They've been reduced a great deal in terms of points scored. What does that mean? Tempo of the game and a high-scoring or low-scoring game. Whose favor would that go to?
Well, I think it shows that the Lakers can win in any style of ball that you play. They averaged 122. It's down to 102. But the big key today for Seattle, Bob, is they must get to the free throw line. Their team defense has been good. They've got to rebound, and they've got to get to the basket, get some free throws.
Okay, in just a moment, we'll be coming back here to the Seattle Coliseum with the lineups and the tip-off. But right now, let's go back to our studios in Atlanta and Charlie Neal.
Okay, thank you very much, Bob. The big story out of the NBA today is Don Nelson will not be back with the Milwaukee Bucks as their head coach. During the playoffs, it had been rumored that Nelson might leave the team after having some differences with owner Herb Cole. His name came up for a number of coaching vacancies, but his contract prohibited him from coaching another NBA team for at least 2 years without the Bucks receiving some type of compensation. Well, about an hour ago, Nelson met with Jim Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald is the owner of the Golden State Warriors to discuss the possibility of joining that team as their general manager.
It's time for Don Nelson to leave the Milwaukee Bucks. I will be resigning sometime soon, sometime before the playoffs. I think that would depend on when the 2 lawyers can get together and do it properly legally.
That soundbite coming from Don Nelson out in Oakland, California. Meanwhile, Fitzgerald and Nelson, as you may know, are close friends. Fitzgerald is the former owner of the Bucks, and I'll have more on it as the game progresses. And Bob and Doug will be back with tonight's starting lineups from Seattle in just a moment.
Get at the hoop Tuesday in the NBA playoffs. The Superstation concludes its coverage of heated postseason play with the war in the Eastern Final. Defending champion Boston continues its quest for consecutive titles. Now they return to the friendly confines of Boston Garden for the pivotal 5th game against hungry Detroit. Let's all go to the hoop with the NBA playoffs. Live at 8 p.m. Eastern on the Superstation Tuesday.
When you want to see the best, it's WTBS at the hoop.
15,000 at the Seattle Coliseum, awaiting game number 3 of the Western Conference Championship Series. Lakers and the Seattle Supersonics. For the visiting Los Angeles Lakers, A.C. Green in his 2nd year from Oregon State, James Worthy in his 5th year from North Carolina, Abdul-Jabbar in his 50th, 60th year. What is it? Actually, the 18th, record-setting 18th season from UCLA. It'll be Magic Johnson at the point guard from Michigan State, and Byron Scott from Arizona State, who will be the shooting guard today for the Lakers. And there's Pat Riley. Pat Riley, the 66 playoff wins, ties him with Casey Jones of the Boston Celtics for the most playoff wins among active coaches in the NBA. And now for the Seattle Supersonics, Tom Chambers, the all-star forward, Xavier McDaniel, the quick, lightning slashing forward, Alton Lister back from his foot injury and playing at center once again, Dale Ellis looking to regain his shooting touch, and a rookie, a candidate for Rookie of the Year, Nate McMillan from North Carolina State, who at one game this year had 25 assists, setting an NBA record for 1986-87. Bernie Bickerstaff in his 2nd year as coach here. What a job he has done. We talked to Bernie just prior to the game about the situation with Dale Ellis and the fact that Dale had not been producing enough points, and here's what Bernie had to say.
Well, I think Dale's been a little too much of a team player. He's had the shots, and he's got to put it up. He's a shooter. Shooters shoot, passers pass, rebounders rebound. We've got 21 ways to get Dale Ellis open. But basically what we want to do is try a little more penetration. We don't think they're a great shot blocking team, but we want to try to take the ball to the basket like we did in L.A. And we understand that we could probably play a perfect basketball game and improve on the boards, and we could probably still come up a little short. So we've got everything in perspective, and we've played well down in L.A. We want to come home. Hopefully the fans can give us a little lift, and we'll try them on and see if we fit.
Bernie Bickerstaff, Seattle Supersonics, have played very well this year. They are a Cinderella team. They finished 4th in the Pacific Division, 7th in the Western Conference, and had a losing record of 39-43. But oh, how well they've played in the playoffs. The officials are Jess Kersey, Paul Mahalik, and the alternate is John Bannock. We are ready to get underway from the Coliseum in Seattle. Lister and Abdul-Jabbar. The cry of beat LA going up from the stands. Sonics get the opening tip, and Nate McMillan, played by Magic Johnson. There are the screens for Ellis. He misses his opening shot. McDaniel with a rebound. He misses. A.C. Green fouled in the backcourt.
Well, a good sign there. Dale Ellis got a wide open shot at the basket. He didn't get it to go. Xavier McDaniel with a nice rebound, but boy, was he really pumped up. He didn't even draw iron. He tried to bank the ball and really crashed it off the glass. A big matchup to watch is Xavier McDaniel against James Worthy. He's been killing the Sonics.
Down to Abdul-Jabbar. The skyhook foul before the shot. 3-second violation. Check that. No foul. 3-second violation.
This building is as noisy as any building I've been in this season. These fans are alive for this basketball game.
Scoreless game so far. We're 1 minute into the ball game now. Lister with the rebound. He misses the basket, but he will go. Matter of fact, it's a loose ball foul that will be played on the sideline.
The foul is on Jabbar.
We could see the Los Angeles defense there.
First team foul.
When the ball was passed over to Dale Ellis, double team occurs immediately. They force him to pass the ball back to McMillan. He did the smart thing. He drove it to the basket, which gave Seattle a second shot opportunity. Lister got the foul. He missed the first free throw, but that's what they're going to have to do. They can't settle for the perimeter shot. They must drive it to the basket, force LA to block shots.
And the Sonics take the lead. Not exactly a high-scoring game. It's 1-0. 1 minute played. Byron Scott wide open from 18, and he'll bury it from there.
He can really shoot the ball. Byron Scott spots up, has great confidence and super range on his jumper.
Player you know well from your days at Arizona State. Tom Chambers with a turnaround. Lister gets the air ball. Well, the opportunities have been there for the Sonics. Bounce pass to Worthy from Byron Scott. 4-1 Lakers.
Byron Scott made a great no-look pass that time to Worthy. We see when Magic Johnson defensive rebounds, he puts such pressure on the defense, you must pick him up high.
Off the screen, Ellis buries this one, Dale Ellis.
Dale Ellis is a rhythm shooter. So what LA tries to do is destroy his rhythm by making him put the ball on the floor. If you allow him to come off that screen and catch it like that, he will bury it. But you've got to force him to just try to change his rhythm just enough to distract him.
Lakers by 1, 1 minute 40 seconds been played here from the Seattle Coliseum. Game 3, Western Conference Championship Series. Abdul-Jabbar, skyhook.
That's the most devastating weapon in professional basketball history, the skyhook. He's got about 35,000 points shooting that shot.
Xavier McDaniel. Played by Green, out to Chambers. Penetrate behind the back to McDaniel and the layup. Chambers with a pass to Xavier McDaniel.
See the difference right there in Tom Chambers as a player. We talked about him on the top of the game. When he drives the ball in the lane, he's a big forward that can create. And that time he created a shot for a Xavier McDaniel. And that's what Chambers has to do with his speed and quickness.
2 team fouls on the Sonics, 1 on the Lakers thus far. Worthy left open. Worthy jam.
Well, they had the double team, and Kareem read the double team with his size. He threw right over the top of it.
And the foul is going to be on Byron Scott, his first. Abdul-Jabbar with 1, Scott with 1 for the Lakers.
You know, Bob, when you double team Jabbar before he's dribbled the basketball, he really picks you apart because he can see the floor so well.
Byron Scott's done a great job defending Ellis. Ellis got past it, and Scott now with 2 early fouls.
We'll see what Pat Riley does now. Does he try to come in with Michael Cooper early, or does he stay with Byron Scott?
3rd team foul.
And that's the Lakers' 3rd team foul. Sonics will shoot on the 5th.
Boy, look at him use those screens. That's the rhythm right there. That is the rhythm. He used the screen to perfection. Byron Scott trailed him, went right up with the shot and knocked it home.
Lakers by 1, 9:06 to go, first quarter. Worthy from 18. McMillan and the Sonics are running. Xavier McDaniel and the Sonics take the lead by 1.
See, they want to run. They just want to make sure that they have good floor balance when they take their shot. They don't want to shoot the ball to allow the Lakers to run out on them.
Worthy, left hand. Nice move.
Worthy.
Man, when you make shots like that, whoa.
Seesaw lead now, 1-point game. Michael Cooper set to check in. It'll be an early entry. He usually comes in late in the first quarter. McMillan from 18. 11-10 Sonics.
See, Magic Johnson will not guard him after he picks his dribble up. He's more concerned with guarding the man coming off.
Magic goes all the way, but he's fouled on the drive. That was Ellis who picks up his second personal.
Magic Johnson here was trying to draw the foul. He's driving it. At the last moment, watch, he's going to dish the ball. He hears the whistle, and watch what he does. He starts to pass it. At the last minute, he throws it at the basket to try to get a 2-shot foul, but Jeff Kersey would have no part of that. As Dale Ellis taking a quick break right now, and Byron Scott is set down with Cooper on the floor.
Seattle was cold to start with. They've hit 4 out of their last 5. McDaniel. Tough inside, gets his own rebound. Nobody grabbed it. Kevin Williams is the young man who checked in for Dale Ellis, number 30. He'll be playing Michael Cooper. Worthy with a drive. It rolls around, and there's A.C. Green. Somebody's hurt at the free throw line. It's McDaniel. He's down.
I think Xavier McDaniel got hit by an errant elbow. I think that was an inadvertent elbow. When Worthy went to the basket, it looked like McDaniel accidentally got hit, and he is really down right now.
We have 7:42 to go in the first quarter. The Sonics have taken a 13-10 lead after hitting 4 of their last 5 shots.
Taking a 20. Let's watch it right here. Right there is where it occurred. He either got hit by his own man or by an inadvertent
20-second
elbow there by James Worthy.
And we have a 20-second timeout. Xavier's got 6 points and 2 rebounds already. He seems to be okay. He's standing away from the huddle on the sideline, as you see, with the trainer for Seattle Supersonics. He's going out of the ball game for a rest, and Maurice Lucas is set to check in the game. Mo Lucas has been playing nearly 16 minutes a game in these playoffs, and in only 7.5 minutes in game number 2 had 4.5 rebounds.
Lucas replaces McDaniel for the Supersonics.
You know, the early difference in this ball game has been what I see with Seattle's. First of all, they're doing a good job on the defensive backboard. They're not giving up second shots. But more importantly, they are getting second shot opportunities for themselves. I know Xavier McDaniel already has 2 stickbacks. And when you play in the playoffs and play against the Lakers, their team defense is holding people to under 46% field goal shooting, which allows for a lot of second shots. And if you can get in there and get second shots, then the Lakers can't fast break on you, so you're able to attack them in 2 ways.
1 point, Sonics lead. Nate McMillan in the backcourt with Kevin Williams, who's handling the ball now. Here's Maurice Lucas, number 20. Oh, back to McMillan. His second long-range finder, just inside the three-point line, 15-12 Sonics. Worthy over Chambers.
Worthy has become a great forward. He is so quick, and the fact that he has been able now to make the jump shot, he makes him an impossible player to guard. You just better hope he misses his shot.
Williams finds the path open, drives and misses it. New shot clock. Here comes Worthy. Has nobody with him. Cooper for 3, the set shot. And the foul. Sean McMillan.
The foul is on Nate McMillan.
Now McMillan has 2, Ellis has 2, and Scott has 2 fouls early in this game for the Los Angeles Lakers. 6 minutes, 50 seconds to go. Quarter number 1. Sonics by 1.
Scott playing him defensively. This is what Byron Scott has to be faced with. Coming off that screen, this is what I call a rhythm shooter. Catches it, goes right up with it. The Lakers want him to have to put the ball on the floor, not just be able to come off, measure his jump shot, and be able to shoot the ball. He has 4 points, but he also has 2 quick fouls.
Dale Ellis averaged 24.9 points a game in the regular season. That's 8th in the NBA, and was voted the most improved player. I realize he scored a lot. I'm not so sure if Ellis was maybe not the most improved player, but the player who got the most increased amount of playing time in order to show his ability.
Well, I think that's what happens. Those two sort of go hand in hand. When you get more playing time, you get an opportunity to show what you can do. But, you know, in fairness to the Dallas Mavericks, also who traded him, they've got a Rolando Blackman, who's a big guard there, who's an all-star, and a Mark Aguirre, who's a small forward. So they're loaded at the position that Dale Ellis excels at.
Green shooting the 1-and-1.
AC Green. Had a playoff career-high 14 rebounds in game number 2 on Tuesday.
He fits perfectly into this Laker attack. He's a 6'9" forward that can run. He loves the rebound. Very unselfish. Does not need to score to be happy.
Lakers 16, Sonics 15. 6:46 to go first quarter, along with Doug Collins. This is Bob Neal from the Seattle Coliseum.
Looks like they're going to try to get Chambers going here. He is not.
Chambers penetrates. He's fouled. Will go to the line.
The foul is on.
So important for the big 3 of this team to get going offensively. You know, during the regular season, Bob, the 3 players, Xavier McDaniel, Chambers, and Dale Ellis, all averaged 20 points a game. They were the only team in the league that have 3 guys average 20 points a game. In this series, none of them are averaging 20 points a game. The high man is Xavier McDaniel at 19, 18 for Chambers, and 16 for Ellis. So as the scores have gone down, the 3 players who have not been able to get their points have been the 3 big players for the Seattle Supersonics.
We've been talking about free throws. AC Green has made, he's 4 out of 4. All his points have come from the free throw line. Sonics, this is only the 4th free throw. We'll keep track of that because the free throws have made a difference in the game. The Sonics have hit more field goals than the Lakers in the 2 losses, but the Lakers have a big advantage from the free throw line. It's tied at 16. Abdul-Jabbar against Lucas. As he backs in, the foul.
That'll be the third foul against Nate McMillan if that's who they're calling it against.
The foul is on Lucas.
It's on Lucas. It could have been on McMillan.
Oh, yeah, I thought
he was pounding away at his wrists.
I thought they called it on Nate McMillan at first.
Abdul-Jabbar.
Let's take a look at Kareem. They're not going to go at him until he puts it on the floor. Now, when he puts it on the floor, look at what happens. The Sonic defense really goes at him. That's what I was talking about a while ago. When you play Kareem, if you don't go at him and double team him before he puts it on the floor, he will pick you apart with his passing. Once he puts it on the floor, he's so big that you can go down and get a piece of him, and that's normally what teams try to do, double him on dribble.
Eddie Johnson checks into the ball game at the guard position for the Seattle Supersonics, former Atlanta Hawk player. Having a good playoff series for Seattle. 8.5 points in about 16 minutes a game. It's perfect from the free throw line in the first 2 games. Chambers with an air ball. Lucas breaks up the pass. It'll belong to Seattle.
Boy, you got to credit Maurice Lucas that time. His floor balance was so good that if he had not been back there, Worthy would have had a breakaway dunk. Worthy will sneak out. He will not defensive rebound. So when Chambers shoots the ball, he's going to run out and put the pressure on his other teammates to try to rebound the ball and look long for him.
Shot clock down to 10 seconds. Johnson penetrating. Looking like the Eddie Johnson of old. Count the basket. He'll go to the line. Played his way back into the league through the CBA trails this year.
Great move here by Eddie Johnson. Eddie going strong to his left. The foul, and he continues on to the basket with the left hand. Eyes on the target, great concentration. And Eddie Johnson in his prime was one of the most difficult guys in the league to guard. He was so quick off the dribble, plus he could also hit the outside jump shot.
That foul was on Cooper. Russ Shaney has checked into the game for Seattle now. Xavier McDaniel back in the game. The guards are Kevin Williams and Eddie Johnson. Abdul-Jabbar, the skyhook. Again.
You let him get his rhythm, and that is money in the bank.
Lakers by 1. We have 5:22 to go, first quarter. Lucas. He was calling for it out there, and McDaniel did the smart thing and pulled the defense to him and then got it to the open Maurice Lucas.
Well, he's a veteran of playoff wars, having been on a world championship team with the Portland Trail Blazers.
Inside to Worthy, who's really battling Xavier McDaniel. McDaniel had him fronted. Worthy shifted around behind him, and that's when they were able to get the ball, and I think that was a frustration foul.
Well, it was a good swinging of the ball that time. There was a little triangle formed offensively between Magic Johnson, A.C. Green, and Worthy. Worthy in the post, and when Xavier McDaniel fronted, Magic Johnson swung the ball to the top of the floor, and they just threw right over the top, and James Worthy did a nice job sealing his man and was able to draw the foul. That's what you teach post players, Bob, is if you're going to front, then swing the ball quickly, seal the man, and you probably have a little lob pass over the top.
Well, they got it and got the free throw opportunities. The Lakers are perfect from the line thus far. Till I said that. 7 out of 8 from the line now. Sonics have shot 5 free throws thus far in the first quarter. It's tied at 21. Xavier McDaniel doesn't get the roll.
You can see Worthy already down the floor quickly.
Cooper for 3. Gets it.
3 points, Michael Cooper.
Cooper was 8th in the NBA in regular season in three-point shots.
He really shot him well against Golden State.
Shaney with the loose ball rebound and bank shot. Russ Shaney from University Tennessee, Chattanooga. Magic Johnson over the shorter Kevin Williams with a runner.
I think Magic Johnson poses problems. He's a point guard that goes down in the lane and shoots a hook shot at 6'9", right over the top of a point guard.
Lucas with the fake, and here comes Magic Johnson to the floor for the ball. Shot clock down to 10. For 3 points. No, Shaney battling for it. A.C. Green capturing the ball. Oh, my. Xavier Xavier McDaniel and Cooper.
Boy, foul trouble now starting to mount up for the Sonics. The cross-court pass. McDaniel tries to come get it, and he gets up underneath, and then a little leg whip afterwards. And now that's 2 on Xavier McDaniel, 2 on Dale Ellis, 2 on Nate McMillan. So the foul's starting to mount up, and LA doing what they've done in this series, and that's shoot free throws.
That's the 9th free throw of this first quarter for the Los Angeles Lakers. 27-23, 3:42 remaining in the quarter.
Michael Cooper, such a versatile player. He can play 3 positions for you. He can play small forward, he can play big guard, he can play point guard. So in essence, one player can come in and give you 3 different looks. That's what makes him such a great player.
Eddie Johnson fouled before the shot.
The foul is on Cooper.
That'll be the second personal on Michael Cooper, and Eddie Johnson going to the free throw line again. Chambers into the game for Seattle. It's Chambers, Shaney, and Clement Johnson up front, with Eddie Johnson and Kevin Williams at the guards. Only
Eddie
one
Johnson
starter in there for the Sonics right now.
Bob, you really got to give a lot of credit to Bernie Bickerstaff. He has developed this bench all season long. So when these kind of problems occur, when you do have foul problems in the playoffs, you put a guy in the game. He's played this season, so it's not something where all of a sudden you're asking him to go in and play and he hadn't had much time.
3:25 to go, quarter number 1. Lakers by 4. Johnson with a bounce pass to Cooper. The fake for Johnson, and Cooper buries it for 19. Cooper with 7. Lakers with their biggest lead, a lead of 6. Michael Thompson ready to come into the game for Los Angeles. We talk about the great 8. 8 excellent ball players on this Lakers team. Shaney. Rebound is kept alive by Green. Loose ball to Cooper and then to Abdul-Jabbar, who wanted to throw it long. It slipped out of his hands, and there comes Magic Johnson to get it.
That was one of those excuse me passes. I want that one back. Look at this hook shot.
Eddie Johnson against Cooper.
Eddie Johnson.
Lakers back so fast. Great defensive play. Shaney will go to the free throw line.
What great basketball action this is. End to end, both teams going to the basket. Bernie Bickerstaff has to be thrilled to death. His team is really attacking the basket.
Forever on video cassette. Learn basketball the Dr. J way. Watch spectacular career highlights from his ABA days to his final NBA game. Use the special house call section to work out with Dr. J and cool down with a bonus music video. Dr. J's basketball stuff. Call or send $19.98 plus $3 shipping and handling to Dr. J Video Cassette, Building 73, Hanover, Pennsylvania.
2-1, Boston leading. Bird and Lambeer ejected for fighting the game. Parrish injured his ankle for Boston, but the leading scorer for the Celtics, believe it or not, was Sam Vinson off the bench. At halftime, Prudential Sports Update with Charlie Neal and Atlanta Hawks coach Mike Fratello.
Here's that last play. Magic Johnson tries a bounce pass. It's knocked loose by Clem Johnson. Kevin Williams picks the ball up and is rushing it up the floor. He spots Russ Shaney on the lane, who runs strong to the basket, goes up, draws the foul. And again, the importance of Seattle going to the basket. Make sure you go to the basket, draw the foul, or try to at least get the layup.
In the first quarter, the Sonics are shooting 44%. Shaney hits the free throw. And the Lakers shooting 66%. 30-28, Lakers by 2, 2:14 to go in the quarter. There are the numbers on the field goal. Worthy got around to guard. Kevin Williams had no prayer at all to stop that move.
How would you like to have James Worthy, Sam Perkins, and Michael Jordan on the same team? That's what Dean Smith had.
How would you like to have it with Chicago?
You bet.
Chambers. Magic Johnson again. taking Kevin Williams inside, rolling it home.
Magic Johnson.
See, Magic Johnson now goes from the top of the floor to the low post. They bring Michael Cooper out, let him run the point. They take Magic right in the lane against Kevin Williams, and he's 6'9", and he's a great low post player.
Chambers has yet to score from the floor. Tom Chambers has only 1 point in this first quarter.
He looked like he didn't know whether to bank that ball or shoot it. His indecision cost him. Look at Magic.
Slips inside, gets the foul, he'll go to the line. Both teams in the penalty. That was a shooting foul anyway. Lakers leading at 34-28. Alton Lister checking back into the game. Clement Johnson goes to the bench.
Tell you what,
Lister replaces Johnson.
Tom Chambers needs right now. He needs a breakaway dunk. He needs a layup, an easy basket to get himself going. Right now he's thinking. And when you start thinking and you start trying to make decisions on the floor rather than playing instinctively, normally good things don't happen.
Wonder if Tom's thinking about his $1,000 fine. He had made a comment about one of the officials in game number 2, and the league fined him $1,000. I'm sure he's thinking basketball at the moment. But Tom Chambers is 0 for 4 from the floor. Had only 8 points in game 2. Eddie Johnson from 17. Eddie Johnson certainly having no problem scoring. Eddie with 8 points. He leads all Seattle scorers.
And they've gotten 4 off the bench from Russ Shaney, so 12 points from the bench people.
Worthy.
Quickness to the ball, AC Green.
Lakers lead it by 6. 36 seconds remaining in the quarter.
They want Magic in the post again against Kevin Williams.
And they got him. They'll clear it out for him. Here comes the double team. He finds Cooper for a 3-point shot. Cheney with a rebound. Kevin Williams against Cooper and Johnson. Pulls up. Lakers could have gone up by 8, but now lead only by 4 with 10 seconds in the quarter.
You know, you don't like to take that shot away from Kevin Williams, but they might have wanted to get the last shot of the quarter.
For 3. Well, that was a very big Laker miss and a very big hit by Kevin Williams. It changed what could have been a Los Angeles 8-point lead to one of 4 as we're ready to begin action in the second quarter from the Seattle Coliseum.
Denver works the ball inside and fakes out Washington's Enos Watley. But Watley grabs the rim and successfully blocks the shot. Is this a legal block? The book states that no player can intentionally grab the rim. Goaltending and a technical foul are called.
Coverage of the NBA is being brought to you by Renault and Jeep, official vehicles of the NBA.
There's Dale Ellis, 4 points, 2 fouls. He did not get to play much in the first quarter. He was 2 for 3 from the floor, though.
He got good rhythm shots. The problem was he got in early foul trouble, and Bernie Bickerstaff did not want to gamble on him picking up his 3rd. He went to the bench. He brought in Eddie Johnson, who had a big first quarter for them, so his gamble paid off. Now can Dale Ellis come back, get his rhythm going? Byron Scott also has 2 fouls. See if they're able to pick up Byron Scott's 3rd foul playing Dale Ellis.
The Dale, as you say, just got 4 minutes in the first quarter. They need more time and more shot attempts from that man. Ellis on Cooper.
They put Ellis on Cooper, maybe thinking that he might not be as offensive-minded.
Worthy hits the perimeter shot from about 17. At the conclusion of tonight's game, Doug and I will be selecting the Miller Lite player of the game. First quarter statistics.
We see 60% field goal shooting for the Lakers, only 43 for the Sonics, which bodes well the fact that they were able to hang tough shooting only 43%.
Lakers lead it by 6. McDaniels drew Thompson out, then drove, gets the foul, the hand check foul from Michael Thompson.
The foul is on Michael Thompson, his first.
Talk about the rich getting richer. Foul. Michael Thompson from San Antonio to L.A. What a great 7th man would be the good term for him that the Lakers picked up.
I still think Chambers is going to have to look to get himself going here quickly.
McMillan on the penetration. Good move by the rookie. Nate McMillan had his playoff high 15 in game number 2. Now here's the full court pressure.
This is trying to slow the Lakers up, not letting them get down and get into their early offense, make them use some clock, get more into the set game rather than try to open you up and attack you in the individual open court game.
10 seconds used by the Lakers before they get their offense rolling.
If Worthy makes that shot, it's a long night. That's the one you got to hope he misses.
Ellis rebounds. Here comes McMillan. To Lister. 2-point Lakers lead.
Don't celebrate. Don't celebrate, because James Worthy comes right back at you.
I didn't even get a chance to say it was a 2-point lead until it was back to 4.
That's why I didn't comment on the Lister thing, because I knew that somebody else would score before I could get it out of my mouth.
How many times have we seen that happen? How many times have all the teams in the league seen it? Ellis gets the roll. And here comes Cooper to Worthy. He's fouled on the drive. It's McMillan's foul.
They attack you so quickly. Dale Ellis, nice screen by out Lister. Jabbar comes over to give help. Dale Ellis with a little fadeaway gets the nice roll. But what happens? The Lakers immediately get the ball in, throw it ahead to Cooper. He drives the ball up the floor. Worthy attacks the basket, gets to the free throw line. With the Lakers, you've got to try to smother the outlet pass and the outlet passer, because once they get it in, they have a team that's made up of race horses. They can really run. That's Pat Riley's style. He wants to build his team of 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" athletes who can really run the floor.
McMillan has 3 personal fouls now. Eddie Johnson, one of the values of having Eddie Johnson is he can play the number 1 or 2 guard position. So he comes in as point guard now.
Problem is, they lose size. Nate McMillan is 6'6", and they lose some size with Eddie Johnson.
They're bothering Ellis off the screen that time. Didn't have the open shot as Byron Scott fought through. Shot clock to 10 for the Sonics. Lister turning around on Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem with a rebound. Lakers by 3. Eddie Johnson has McDaniel over on the right wing. Abdul-Jabbar rebounding well in this ball game. Lakers showing patience and poise, pulling it back out with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Lucas and Abdul-Jabbar pounding away down low. There's that skyhook.
See, the Lakers can run it at you. If you get back defensively, they can set up in a half-court game, and they've got 5 guys they can go to. They're so difficult to defend.
Timeout on the floor. Abdul-Jabbar, 8 points and 5 rebounds already. 9:14 to go second quarter. Lakers lead it by 5.
Turn as coach of the team. He has led the past 11 years. Earlier today, he told us he has been offered the general manager's job with Golden State, but he added that he was not tired of coaching.
So I'm not contemplating giving up coaching. It's okay if that happens, because I think I can also do a great job as a general manager. Either position does intrigue me, and I think what I'll do, hopefully I'll get more than just the one offer, and I'll be able to sit back and make a very tough decision.
Other coaching possibilities are with the Dallas Mavericks and the New York Knicks, but they would have to compensate the Bucks if he coaches. Now let's go back to Seattle to Bob and Doug.
This is the 134th Laker playoff game for Abdul-Jabbar, and look at that consistency.
Well, you can see it right there. I think the great thing Pat Riley's done this year, too, is use him sparingly, waiting for the playoffs when he knows he's going to need heavy minutes from him.
After the timeout, they got the open shot for Ellis. He missed it, and a Laker turnover. Lakers now with 4 turnovers. Seattle has yet to turn the ball over. Lakers lead by 5. I think the missing element, I know the missing element for Seattle so far is that Tom Chambers, who's on the bench right now, has scored only 1 point in this game. 1 out of 2 from the free throw line. Lucas from the perimeter. McDaniel is there with the offensive rebound. The slip back. Xavier McDaniel.
What a great player Xavier McDaniel is. He's about 6'7". He's strong. He can run the floor, offensive rebound, shoot the ball from the distance. He's becoming the prototype small forward. You look at he and a James Worthy. And those are the young small forwards of the future.
We've got a 3-second call on Byron Scott. Here comes Danny Young in for Seattle.
The activity of Xavier McDaniel finding the open spot, rebounding, then taking it up over Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Nice job on the boards using a nice little soft jump hook.
L.A. 5 turnovers. Seattle none still. McDaniel, the jump hook. It's a one-point game. Xavier McDaniel leading all Seattle scorers with 10 points now. McDaniel playing Magic Johnson. He takes him inside and scores.
Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson.
MVP. What more do you need to say?
I saw him put on a display against my former team in Philadelphia in the 6th game of the playoffs in 1980 that was spectacular.
Offensive foul.
Offensive foul on Lister. His second.
Alton Lister picks up foul number 2. You can read the face of Tom Chambers, how he's feeling right now. 1 point in this game.
Tom Chambers is a very emotional player, and he needs to channel that emotion. We see Bernie Bickerstaff going. He needs to channel that emotion into really trying to take it to the basket, make sure he gets good shots at the basket. When you're struggling, you want to get good shots.
Byron Scott from Magic Johnson.
Byron Scott.
The pass off the dribble. I don't know if anybody passes off the dribble better than Magic Johnson. Maybe ever. Lakers by 5, 7:12 to go, quarter number 2. Danny Young. Byron Scott has him running. Misses the layup. What a leaper, but he couldn't get it to fall. Here's another leaper over Abdul-Jabbar. Xavier McDaniel, who's got 12. A 6th Laker turnover.
Chambers replaces Lucas for the Supersonics.
And now Chambers, Maurice Lucas, Dale Ellis, Xavier McDaniel, and Danny Young, the Seattle lineup.
Correction. Chambers replaces Lister for Seattle.
Off the screen, there's Ellis. Trying to get him on track. Ellis with 8 now. 1 point Laker game. Skyhook, yes, and yes. Abdul-Jabbar with 10 points, hasn't missed a skyhook yet. He's got 4 of them. The hold on Los Angeles.
No basket.
AC Green.
The foul is on AC
Second foul.
Green. His second.
Team foul situations.
Team foul.
2 team fouls on the Lakers, only 1 on Seattle with 6:10 to go in the second quarter. Chambers busy setting the screens for Ellis to get open. 3 screens happened there. Ellis didn't get it.
And the difference was they forced him to put it on the floor, destroyed his rhythm, got up and got his face on the shot, and he missed it.
Now they had confusion over who was guarding Magic Johnson. And that'll cost you 2 9 out of 10 times.
Well, one thing you never do is you never leave the ball. That time 2 players were playing the ball. They decided to both leave to find another man. It left Magic wide open. So whatever you do, always play the ball.
Magic has hit 3 in a row now. It's 51-46, Lakers by 5.
You know, when Dale Ellis is coming off that screen, Kareem that time really hedged out. If Maurice Lucas will punch in the lane after he sets that screen, he can probably get a layup because they're really trying to be concerned with Dale Ellis.
5 on the shot clock. McDaniel rolls another one in. And McDaniel with 14 to lead all Seattle scorers.
Oh, man, what a pass. Oh,
Michael Thompson was at the end of that nice passing from Kareem and Magic.
When you play with Magic Johnson, you got to have your hands ready for a pass at all times. If you ever take your eyes off him, you're making a big mistake.
Broken fingers. Dale Ellis penetrating and scoring, something, Doug, you said that Ellis needs to do for this Sonics team.
Yes, he needs to be able to take that ball off the dribble and still get that good shot.
Lakers by 3, 4:45 to go first half. Shot clock to 10. Michael Thompson over Chambers.
Michael Thompson.
Chambers having a nightmarish first half. Still doesn't get it. Look at the tip. Lucas almost got it tipped. Almost didn't count. Offensive foul. Magic Johnson.
Well, Young read that one beautifully. He read the crossover dribble from Magic, and when he did, he stepped over. Watch him. Magic there is going to set him up and then cross him over. Danny Young reads it beautifully and was able to draw the offensive foul, the charging foul against Magic. That was a great play.
Excellent play from the young Danny Young. Lakers 54 minutes to go in the half. Xavier McDaniels travel, and that's the first, make that the second Seattle turnover in the game. Lakers have 7. Here's the three-quarter pressure. Johnson saw that Ellis was just kind of taking it easy and took it right to the hoop. I got a kick out of Magic throwing his arms toward the hoop to get. He says, "Wait a minute."
Lucas thought the foul was on him. He was upset. Magic went to the free throw line, and then Lucas found out that the foul was on Magic Johnson. So I think that's, what is that, the third foul on Magic? That's the third foul on Magic. So now he's going to have to go to the bench.
Boy, there was some real acting there. Emmy stuff. Ellis fouled by Byron Scott as he tries to score in the paint, and Ellis getting the penetration now. Cooper's in and Johnson sits down.
That's his third foul, so now Pat Riley might have to go to a bigger lineup, maybe only Cooper a natural guard, because I don't think he can afford to let Byron Scott pick up his fourth foul now.
Byron Scott staying in momentarily. They're looking to the bench, thinking that someone is coming in, but not so. Lucas sits down. Let's set those lineups for you. First of all, for the Sonics, it's Alton Lister, Tom Chambers, Dale Ellis, Xavier McDaniel, and Eddie Johnson. For the Lakers, A.C. Green, Michael Cooper, Byron Scott, James Worthy, and Abdul-Jabbar.
I think what you'll probably see here is Pat Riley's thinking what he wants to do. After this free throw attempt, the Lakers will advance the ball across half court, and he'll get a timeout, get his thoughts together, what he wants to do for this last 3 minutes and 40 seconds with both of his guards in big foul trouble with 3.
Here's the backcourt pressure and the double team. And Cooper elected an excellent time to call the timeout as the double time comes. Lakers lead it by 3, 3:34 to go in the first half. We'll see what's on the mind of Pat Riley when we return.
America's game. It's fantastic.
This is Magic Johnson's presence on the floor. He makes the entry pass to Kareem. Tom Chambers is the man that circles. He's going to come double. Magic will cut baseline. Magic realizes the open man now will be Michael Thompson. Touch pass, boom, layup. That's just great court presence.
And veteran Wes Matthews enters the ball game for his first action of this series for the Lakers. The 6'1" guard, Wes Matthews from Wisconsin, handling the ball.
You know that Pat Riley had to make that substitution. He just could not afford for his starting guards to have 4 fouls going into the second half.
Shot clock to 7. 6. Wes Matthews scores immediately, coming off the bench. That must feel pretty good for a young man who hasn't played in the entire series.
Well, he's a veteran player. He played last year in the playoffs, and he's a very cocky player, so he's not going to get excited. He feels very comfortable out there.
He's playing Eddie Johnson, 2 former Atlanta Hawks playing. Air ball. Abdul-Jabbar with the loose ball. Jabbar had a hold of Alton Lister's arm, kept him from going after the loose ball. No call. Lakers by 5. Worthy clearing the side. Over McDaniel.
Worthy.
Since he's added the perimeter game,
it's called impossible to guard.
Chambers.
It's like when Michael Jordan's hitting his outside jumper, you can put 45 in the book.
Here's Chambers from 18. Gets one. His first field goal of the game. He's 1 out of 6. Only taken 6 shots. I think that's significant, Doug, with 2:17 to go in the half.
Yeah, it is. They've really been going to other areas because Chambers hadn't been able to shake loose.
Lakers by 5. There's 9 on the shot clock.
They're going to clear it out to Worthy.
Don Chambers. Kevin Williams in. Dale Ellis out.
That's a good substitution there by Bernie Bickerstaff. As a coach, the one thing you want to do is go into the second half with your best players having the least amount of fouls they can possibly have. Dale Ellis has 2 fouls. He does not want him to pick up his 3rd going into half. Now, what might happen, you might want to take a 20 later on in the half, maybe for a late possession to put him in for offense, but he does not want him to get the 3rd foul with 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Eddie Johnson, Kevin Williams are the guards for Seattle as Kareem hits them both. And Abdul-Jabbar in double figures here. He has 12.
2 minutes in the quarter. 2 minutes.
Lakers by 7.
That's a flop. That's a flop. They got him, too.
And Wes Matthews picks up the first.
That's a good call right there by Jess Kersey.
The foul is on Wes
Matthews tried to fake him into a foul, and he flopped on him. And Jess Kersey has a good piece of officiating, and he made the right call.
Eddie Johnson will shoot one.
From the Seattle Coliseum. 1:54 to go. Second quarter, Lakers leading it 61-54 along with Doug Collins. This is Bob Neal, hoping you're enjoying the Western Conference Championship Series game with the Lakers and the Sonics. Lakers leading it 2-0. Earlier today, Detroit clobbered Boston 122-104 in that series. With a game coming up tomorrow is now Boston 2-1. Time remaining in the quarter, the lower right there. Minute 40. Cooper fouled as he drives.
The foul is on Eddie Johnson. His first.
Eddie Johnson with some very good bench play for Seattle here. He came in when Ellis got his 2 early fouls and got 8 quick points for Seattle. Now Clement Johnson giving some relief to Alton Lister with 1:42 remaining in the half.
Cooper will shoot 2 for the Lakers.
Lakers in the penalty. The next time that the Sonics commit a team foul, they'll be in the penalty. Shaney and Chambers and Clement Johnson's up front for the final minute 42 of the half for the Seattle Supersonics. Clear the side for Eddie Johnson.
You got a mismatch here. Chambers against Wes Matthews.
And Chambers scores. Took him a while to get it to the mismatch, but the effect was the same.
They switched the screen roll and they swung it and found him down low. That's what you have to do. This is a game of mismatches.
Loose ball foul. It's on Abdul-Jabbar, his second.
His second.
Coming up at halftime, Charlie Neal and Mike Fratello, the Atlanta Hawks coach, will be along with all the scores, highlights, and news from around the NBA. Highlights from that Boston-Detroit game, of course.
Johnson
and tonight's special feature will be great playoff moments. A lot of news going on with the coaches here, Coach Collins. Don Nelson, we understand, has resigned at Milwaukee, has gone out to talk to the folks at Golden State. So now Milwaukee will be looking for a coach. We want to know what's going to happen at Dallas, New York Knicks. Gene Shue goes to the Clippers.
Well, you got a great coach sitting in the studio there, Mike Fratello. He should be very happy what his team did with Atlanta. He's done a great job down there.
Speaking of a great job, Clement Johnson came in and played very well early in the playoffs when Alton Lister had injured himself and was unable to perform.
See, he has championship experience. He was on that Sixer team that won the championship, so you can never put a price on what that means.
Kevin Williams had a chance to really close the gap but missed. A minute left in the half. 62-58 Lakers. time remaining in the lower right of your screen. They're really pounding inside. Offensive foul. It's on James Worthy.
Pat Riley, this is the most animated I've ever seen him. He's up and down that sideline. That's the most animated I've ever seen Pat.
Pat all the way to near center court on that one. He's back now in his proper place. Lakers by 4. Sonics to cut it by 2 before halftime. They're really pounding. Something's going to break out down low. Mark that down. Shot clock to 10.
Chambers wants the ball.
Williams open from 18. Chambers has it down low. Misses. Michael Thompson gets a rebound. We're going to get a foul on Seattle.
You know, in that sequence, they got an offensive rebound with 25 seconds to go. You'd love to be able to pull that ball out. You see the shot right there and the rebound foul. But if you pull that ball out, then you hold for the last shot, then you go in now maybe down 2 at the worst 4. What happens? You take a tough shot. It's tough for the players, though, to know that clock. You've got to almost have a guy out there on the floor letting players know at all times what the time is on the shot clock.
It's amazing how Larry Bird carries that clock in his head for Boston.
Here's what I was pointing out about Dale Ellis a while ago. They're going to bring him in now. There's 21 seconds to go. They'll hold for the last shot, feeling that they won't probably have to play defense where he won't pick up a foul, and they might be able to go to him and spring him coming off the baseline for a jump shot.
Lakers leading it by 6. Seattle with probably the final shot of the half. Unless there's a turnover. Now 3 seconds in the half. Worthy. Well, the Lakers are probably happy to get away with a 6-point lead at the end of the first half from the Seattle Coliseum. Doug Collins and I will be back here in a few moments in Seattle, but now we're going back to our studios in Atlanta where Charlie Neal is standing by with Atlanta Hawks head coach Mike Fratello with highlights from that Boston-Detroit game and other news from around the NBA right after these messages.
Up next on the Prudential Sports Update, I'll have highlights of Game 3 of the Boston-Detroit series, a game that saw Larry Bird thrown out for fighting. Atlanta Hawks coach Mike Fratello joins me here in the studio to offer his insight into the playoffs. Plus, I'll take a look back at a great moment in NBA playoff history. All that and more coming up next.
NBA is brought to you by the Prudential, offering a full range of insurance and other financial services. With the right choices, with the right guidance, the sky's the limit. The Prudential, your rock in financial services.
Welcome back. I'm Charlie Neal, and the Pontiac Silverdome was a setting of Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Final between the defending champ Boston Celtics and the Detroit Pistons. Celtics went into the game leading that series 2-0, but the Pistons were primed and ready for the task at hand. In fact, 23,000 screaming fans on hand. They had over 1 million in attendance this year at the Silverdome. Pick and roll. Bird feeds Parrish. Parrish didn't even return in the second half because he re-injured his ankle. He finished with 4 points. Here's Lambier. Watch this move by Isaiah Thomas. A scoop shot up and in. The game is tied at 10. And then Dantley with a spin move, jump hook. And he had 25 first half points for the Pistons. Bird feeds Dennis Johnson. Dennis hits the fadeaway baseline jumper. That cut the lead to 10. That's the closest Boston ever got. Vinnie Johnson to John Sally. Sally with the jam. Sally finished with 14 points. Vinnie Johnson on the miss. And Bill Lambier is underneath for the rebound. And he puts it back up. He finished with 18 points before being thrown out. We'll talk about that in a moment. Adrian Dantley spins and puts it up over Bird. Detroit led by 20 at the half. Then Lambier clobbers Bird right here. Bird takes exception to the rough treatment he receives by Lambier. Both benches empty. Finally, the two combatants were separated, but Lambier kept running his mouth. Bird took exception to the fact that Lambier was running off at the mouth. He hit him with the ball, and both players were thrown out of the game. This was with 10 minutes left in the contest. Meanwhile, after things settled down, Sally to Rodman for the slam. Detroit finally went on to win it, 122-104. But afterwards, Jerry Sichting talked about his feelings on Bill Lambier.
Lambier, for whatever reason, he just grabbed Larry by the neck and threw him down on his head. And, he's messing with the wrong guy because they're going to have to go back to Boston now, and he better have a bodyguard.
Speaking of bodyguards, TBS Sports will be in the Boston Garden for Game 5 on Tuesday night. I'll also be there with a halftime show, and we'll update you on all the playoff action. When I come back, Atlanta Hawks coach Mike Fratello joins me here in the studio. But first, we have a trivia quiz for you. Who has won the Championship Series MVP award twice, other than Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? I'll have the answer when I return. Who has won the Championship Series MVP award twice other than Bird, Magic, and Kareem? Well, the answer, Willis Reed. He's now an assistant coach with the Atlanta Hawks. He won it while playing with the Knicks in 1970 and 73. And ironically, you would be here talking about Willis Reed. We said he was an assistant with the Atlanta Hawks. I understand he's leaving you. Mike?
You would have to ask that question all days today, Charlie. Yeah, we have some sad news and good news. Good news for Willis because he's going to move on to Sacramento and become the new assistant to Bill Russell there. And hopefully with an understanding that down the road he may move into the head coaching position if Bill decides to move on to the front office. So I lose an assistant and a very good friend and a guy who was great to our program.
And I'm sure he's going to be hard to replace.
Yes, he will, but we'll start the search and we'll find somebody good.
Okay, now let's get on with the job at hand. We're talking about today's game. 6-point lead by the Lakers. High-scoring affairs compared to the first two games in the series between Seattle and L.A.
Normally when you return home, you have a lot of confidence. It's your crowd, and you want to up the tempo a little bit offensively. So we expected Seattle to try and do that. Remember, the first two contests were very low-scoring affairs. However, when you do that against a team like the Los Angeles Lakers, that's their strength, the running game. They have the best in the business in Magic Johnson running the show. So all of a sudden, from two very low-scoring contests, here we are at halftime, one team in the 60s, the other in the high 50s. I'm not so sure that's not in the Lakers' favor.
Okay, now for the second half, Seattle, what is their job going to have to be to contain and slow down the Lakers?
Well, one thing, we saw the chess match take place right in the beginning. Already there's a defensive change, okay? They came out and put Xavier McDaniel on James Worthy, which Bernie said he would have to make some change or adjustment in there. A couple times in the first half, they wound up with Chambers caught on Kareem's back in transition, which is not good for them. Kareem's just too good down there for Tom Chambers. I'll be interested to see if Bernie makes any adjustments in their defensive assignments, if he tries to slow the tempo down at all to make it more of a half-court game.
How about Detroit and Boston? Now we're talking about what happened today with Boston losing, plus they have some injury problems.
Well, first of all, everybody understood that Detroit had to win this first game if they were going to come back and have a chance in the series. Well, they accomplished that. I think the next thing of note is the announcement that Robert Parrish is not going to play in tomorrow's game. That could mean 2 of the 5 starters are out tomorrow for Boston, Ainge and Robert Parrish. There aren't many teams in the league that, can have much success when they're sitting 2 of their 5 starters. I think it'll be a very emotional game tomorrow. Detroit will come out high, understanding they can tie this thing and turn it into a 3-game series. Boston will come out excited because of the physical play today.
And you talk about the physical play. Now, we saw what happened with Lambeer and Larry Bird. Will that help the Celtics? Will that fire them up, or will that fire Detroit up?
Well, I think it's going to fire both teams up. Unfortunately, for Boston, they may be fired up without enough pieces, okay, to solve the problem. But, we had a physical contest against Detroit, particularly the last one, where we had a similar incident where Lambeer knocked Wilkins down. So both teams will come out excited tomorrow, but one may not have enough pieces.
Okay, looks like Detroit may tie it up and take it back to Boston tied at 2 apiece. And when we return, we'll take a look back at a great moment in NBA playoff history. But first, a reminder that our last NBA playoff coverage game comes your way Tuesday night from the Boston Garden. It'll be Game 5 of the Boston-Detroit series. Comes your way at 8 p.m.
Sports coverage of the NBA has been brought to you by the Prudential, offering a full range of insurance and other financial services. With the right choices, with the right guidance, the sky's the limit. The Prudential, your rock in financial services.
The opera isn't over till the fat lady sings. Bullet fans rally around Coach Dick Motto's battle cry as the Desperado Bullets face the Sonics down 3-2 in the 1978 NBA Finals. And the Bullets respond. Led by veterans Elvin Hayes and Bobby Dandridge, Washington goes for broke and attacks Seattle with the tenacity of a team fighting for its playoff life. The Bullets overwhelm their foes by a record-setting margin and force a Game 7 in the Emerald City. With Captain Wes Unseld at the helm, the Bullets begrudge the Sonics every inch of home court advantage. Ignoring Seattle's awesome home record, the Bullets catch fire. Behind Unseld, Hayes, and hot shooting guard Charlie Johnson, the visitors seem to have the game well in hand. But when Elvin Hayes fouls out with 8 minutes left, Seattle has one final chance to stop the fat lady from
They
singing.
go to Dennis Johnson. He'll spin the left side to the corner. Long jumper off the back of the rim. Unseld, the long rebound. Shovels to Dandridge. The Bullets are going to win for the first time in 36 years. Washington, D.C. has a major sports world champion.
So watching now, we're going to send you back to Seattle to Bob and Doug for the second half of tonight's game. Mike, you think Doug is doing a great job out there. You don't want him to come back and coach, do you?
I think he's doing so well that you keep him there a couple of years. Great job, Doug.
Okay, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Charlie Neal. Along with Doug Collins, Bob Neal in Seattle. And it is a 64-58 Lakers lead here. And the rock and roll is a little bit more effective than the Seattle Sonics have been here in the first half, Doug.
Well, I thought that the Lakers really did a good job at the end of the second period. Byron Scott and Magic Johnson both picked up their third fouls. And then Wes Matthews came in. They did a nice job. They kept their lead at 6. Seattle was not able to make a move with the players on the bench.
And the Los Angeles Lakers are such an amazing basketball team. Before you can even celebrate a shot if you're their opponent, they can come right back and attack you so quickly. And Doug had pointed that out at the beginning of the game, and I'm sure you've seen it so many times if you watch them. Take a look at this. Seattle, first of all, on a nice break of their own.
Well, Seattle really expends energy. They blow it out. They get a nice break, and they turn and they try to come back. And you can see Alton Lister in a dead sprint, and he can't get there. Nobody rotated back. Alton Lister actually made the shot, and no one got back to get him any help.
And Tom Chambers for Seattle, MVP of the All-Star game, had only 8 points in game number 2 against the Lakers, has only 5 here at halftime. He's having a real nightmare, not only offensively, but defensively, and it seems to be affecting his offensive game. I don't know what you could say about Chambers and what he needs to do, Doug.
Well, he needs to get some easy baskets. This was the last play of the first half. With about 21 seconds to go, Tom Chambers tried this tough left-handed shot that resulted in an over-the-back foul right here that was able, then you see him react, and he was frustrated and he missed a shot. But he needs to get himself going with some easy baskets, and the Lakers have not given him any of those. They forced him to work for everything. Only 5 points, only 2 rebounds. They cannot win in this series unless Chambers is able to get it going.
And once again, you spoke at the beginning of the game that foul trouble and free throws could play a large role in this game. You see 2 Lakers, Scott and Magic Johnson, both with significantly with 3 fouls. They had to miss some action toward the end of the half. And Nate McMillan, Seattle's point guard, also did not get to play as much as they would like to have had him on the floor. But let's talk about the free throws a little bit. As you look onto the free throws, 17 of 20 Lakers, but look at this, only 10 out of 15. Seattle not shooting well from the line.
In both games in Los Angeles, Seattle actually had more field goals than the Lakers. Problem being free throws, and we see the 7-point difference right now at the free throw line. Seattle trails by 6, so that's where the game right now is being decided. Offensive rebounds, a fantastic effort on the boards by the Seattle Supersonics. 13 offensive rebounds, and they've committed only 3 turnovers. They're still down 6 points. That's got to be very discouraging.
Bernie Bickerstaff trying to figure out what to do with the Los Angeles Lakers, who seem to be on a mission to the championship. Worthy with 18. He had 30 the other night, 18 at halftime here, leading all scorers in this ballgame. There's that the Sonic pressure, and it results in a Dale Ellis layup. And suddenly, Bickerstaff, who came out with full court pressure, cuts the lead by 2 with only a couple of seconds gone in the second half. Abdul-Jabbar misses his first skyhook of the game. Ellis running.
Alton Lister really sprinting, trying to beat Kareem down the floor. They were not able to see him.
Lister gets the loose ball and gets the layup. McDaniel kept it alive.
This is one thing that Seattle needed. Come out rolling in the third period. Make Los Angeles work. Don't give them anything easy. Get yourself back in the ball game. They have done that.
Lakers by 2. Abdul-Jabbar.
The old momentum stopper, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar skyhook.
He's only missed 1 in this game. He's made 5. Lister open from about 15.
What a great comeback he's made from the broken foot he sustained at the end of the season. They would not be anywhere near in the playoffs without Alton Lister. He gives them a shot blocker and a young, aggressive runner.
Byron Scott misses the three-point attempt.
He's really running out. Lister really running out on the break, trying to get the ball before Kareem can get down the floor.
He was posted low. They had an opportunity. Abdul-Jabbar was hit. There's a foul, and Abdul-Jabbar is injured under the basket. Hit in the head.
The foul is on James.
22nd timeout. James Worthy picks up the personal foul.
First team foul. Timeout, Los Angeles.
You see Alton Lister really running down the floor. Let's see where Kareem gets hit. There's where he got hit. It was an inadvertent elbow by Xavier McDaniel. Look at McDaniel continue to work. That was just a hustle field goal right there. Great effort there by Xavier McDaniel. Let's see how Kareem comes out of this. Normally something like that really gets him cranked up. I think you're going to see the Lakers go right down and go to Kareem and let him channel this energy into taking it out against the Seattle Supersonics.
Well, the Lakers led by 6. Abdul-Jabbar is okay. Had led by 6 only a minute and a half ago. Now the game is tied, and Nate McMillan has a chance to give Seattle the lead.
McDaniel shooting one for Seattle.
McDaniel, excuse me, at the line. McDaniel with 16 points, 5 rebounds, 4 of those offensive rebounds. Xavier McDaniel misses it.
He struggled from the free throw line. He's been only 1 for 5 in Los Angeles, so still not being able to find the touch from the free throw line.
Tied at 66. Chambers gets the foul.
His third. First team
Magic Johnson driving it right to the basket. You'll see Magic Johnson do that when a team starts to take advantage of or get the momentum going. Magic will take it in his hands, and he'll look to take it right down the teeth of the defense to draw the foul or maybe dish to get somebody a dunk.
12 points for Magic Johnson in the game now. Magic Johnson's had 3 triple-doubles in the playoffs. Had one in game 2. Lakers by 2. Nate McMillan, who was on the bench much of the second quarter, dishes to Lister. Here come the Lakers. Scott. Worthy gets it to Jabbar. The jump hook goes. And a 20-second timeout for Seattle as they had tied it at 66.
20 seconds.
Xavier McDaniel missed the free throw. The Lakers have scored 2 quick baskets. And with 9:43 to go in the third quarter, Bernie Bickerstaff has to figure out what he's going to do next.
I think what he wanted to do is slow down the Lakers' surge. The Lakers are a team of surges. They hit you quickly, and you've got to use your 20-second timeouts, your regular timeouts, to try to destroy their momentum, because they can run off a 12-0 spurt on you, and pretty soon you're trying to play uphill. You cannot play uphill against the Lakers.
Tomorrow, well, these days,
so are the Cubbies.
No kidding. Spoken like a true Chicago coach.
I'll get fired talking like that.
Lakers by 4. Sonics, Nate McMillan, Lister with a rebound, and there's going to be a loose ball foul on McMillan. Excuse me, on Alton Lister.
The foul is on Lister, his third. Second team foul.
By the way, Doug, in case you didn't hear, your Cubs won 7-6 in 16 innings today.
All right.
The rubber game tomorrow as the Braves won yesterday. After all this traveling you and I are doing around from coast to coast, I have trouble remembering which day is tomorrow or yesterday. Green with 6 on the shot clock. Magic Johnson misses the set shot. Worthy. Look at the great play. Chambers. And there's going to be a foul on Los Angeles. Abdul-Jabbar. That's his third.
James Worthy, great work on the offensive boards, but Alton Lister with a nice block shot. He's going to go up here. Second effort, he blocks the shot, and then Worthy goes again. I think this time Chambers gets a piece of it and gets the foul. So nice work there on the offensive backboard by Worthy, but great defense by the Sonics.
Chambers penetrating. Misses the lay-in, but he'll go to the line. Chambers definitely more involved in the offense this quarter. Worthy gets his third foul. So now for the Lakers, Worthy, Abdul-Jabbar, Byron Scott, Magic Johnson all have 3 fouls. Chambers, Lister, and McMillan have 3 for Seattle.
That's the Tom Chambers, though, that you're normally used to seeing for the Sonics. Taking it to the basket, he can drive it with his left hand or his right hand, and he poses terrific matchup problems for a lot of big forwards in this league with his speed and quickness. Fortunately for the Lakers, though, they have an AC Green who has the kind of speed and quickness that can keep up with him.
Chambers with 7 points now. He was 13th in the league at 23-3 for the regular season, averaging 18 a game in this playoff. Only 8 in game number 2, however.
You know, AC Green did not attempt a field goal in the first half.
The double on Abdul-Jabbar. Shot clock to 7. Sky hook. Abdul-Jabbar 6 out of 7 with the sky hooks today.
He's automatic.
That's a new NBA stat that they developed about 7 or 8 years ago. It's sky hook percentage. Ellis with a nice pass. Two-point Laker lead. We've got us a beauty here in Seattle. Don't think this home crowd isn't helping the young Sonics ball club. AC Green gets a 3-point opportunity.
That's what AC Green has to do. You know, you can play out on the floor and be unselfish, but you cannot play out there and not look to shoot because people won't play you. And here, look how open AC Green is. Chambers runs at him. Now he puts it on the floor and is able to draw the foul. But you must be a threat on the floor. People won't guard you.
Ellis with 3. We're going to start seeing foul difficulties here for somebody in a minute. Misses the free throw. Chambers rebounds. Getting more rebounds now. Chambers had only 2 rebounds in the last game also. Daniel hits Lister. Reverses it to McMillan. And now we've got a mismatch somewhere as Abdul-Jabbar came out on McMillan. Ellis off the screen. Oh my, and Bernie Bickerstaff wants a timeout.
See, he wants to control the surges. Do not let the Lakers get on all cylinders.
7:17 to go, third quarter. Lakers lead it by 6.
Coverage of the NBA is being brought to you by Honda, who invite you to experience the Civic 4-door at your local Honda dealer.
Well, the Lakers swept the Nuggets, beat the Warriors 4-1. It was the Sonics shocking Dallas to get here. In the Eastern Conference, Celtics and Pistons. Today, Detroit won 122-104, and Doug Collins and yours truly will be in Boston Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time for Game 5 of that series. Big turnover. Who's going to stop Worthy? Nobody.
Again, an outstanding defense by the Lakers to cause that fast break. Worthy out on the break. It looks like he's limping a little bit.
Fell into the camera section. Ellis missing from the perimeter. There's another offensive rebound from McDaniel. What a job he's done on the offensive boards today. Some pushing and shoving on the baseline as Lucas down here tied on Abdul-Jabbar, and Jess Kersey having some words for both of them. Kevin Williams checking in for Dale Ellis for Seattle. Well, you see a little physical play here today, and I say a little because you and I just left 2 Boston-Detroit games in the Eastern Conference. You know, the word is there's more physical play in the East than West. As a coach of an Eastern Conference team, what do you think?
Well, there definitely is, but I think the reason that is because the Lakers play a run and a finesse kind of game where they run it at your throat, and normally the team that's the best in your area, that's the kind that dictates the style. And the East right now is a bang-em-up league, and the West a little bit more run and shoot.
Abdul-Jabbar matched up against Lucas. Nice feed to Byron Scott. Abdul-Jabbar, even though he's finishing his 18th year, even though he's 40 years old, still has about every part of his game left, perhaps except for the speed.
Kevin Williams replaces
Kevin Williams
Ellis for Seattle.
gets Ellis.
The foul is
Got
on
him previously
McDaniel,
before we went
his
to the
third,
timeout, and they had elected to leave Ellis in there. So now it is Kevin Williams and Nate McMillan in the backcourt for Seattle. Tom Chambers, McDaniel, and Maurice Lucas up front.
Right now is a big, big time for Seattle. They can't let LA get away from them. They've increased the lead to 8. Lakers have taken away the emotion, and they've got to be able to try to get it back.
That's one way. They couldn't get the turnover. Jabbar with a jam. Almost, but not quite. And Bernie Bickerstaff on the sideline just shook his head and thought, what can we do? Jabbar 8 of 9 from the field. Kevin Williams from the perimeter.
Kevin Williams.
This is the Lakers' biggest lead. It's 8. Worthy. He's red hot. Worthy with 24 points. Abdul-Jabbar has 20. McDaniel leads Seattle with 18.
Well, the one thing that the Sonics have proven is that there's no one here that can stop James Worthy in this series, averaging almost 29 points a ball game.
As we say, with 24 now, he's sure to get better than that today. And Worthy, just to show you what else he can do, goes into the stands, chats with a few fans, sells them a box of popcorn.
Wants to know if everybody's okay. You know, he suffered a devastating leg injury his first year, late in the season, about the last regular season game, or maybe close to the last regular season game. He had a really badly broken leg around his knee area. He was in a cast, and there was a lot of speculation on how well he would heal. And I think you can see James Worthy has come back very well. He does wear a knee sleeve on that leg now, but he really had a devastating leg injury.
5 seconds will be added to the clock.
5 seconds.
They ruled that was no possession. If there were change of possession.
So that's all they get is 5 instead of 24. Traveling. As McDaniel tried to back in there, but he did get another offensive rebound. Lakers with 10 turnovers, Seattle with 6. Lakers have their biggest lead of the game of 10. 4:46 to go in the third. The lob to Jabbar, who missed it. Chambers batted it away. He'll be called for a foul. And Chambers getting in some foul trouble here.
Is 4th.
That's 4 for Chambers. He's the first player to get into 4 foul trouble territory.
It was a great set play by the Lakers. It's a cross screen where Byron Scott screens across for Jabbar. Seattle was reading the screen, and Kareem just slid behind looking for the lob. Missed the open shot, but was able to get it back and get fouled.
Well, what a game Kareem has had today. 21 points, 8 rebounds.
Ellis replaces Chambers.
And he's played a lot of minutes. Now Ellis back into the ball game as Tom Chambers with 4 fouls sits down. Kevin Williams, Dale Ellis, Xavier McDaniel, Nate McMillan, and Maurice Lucas. 3 guards for Seattle.
Seattle's got to start cutting into this lead. They're letting things slip away from them right now.
Lakers by 12. McMillan, McDaniel from the top of the key. Lakers by 10. As A.C. Green rolls away, drawing defenders to him, Magic Johnson hits the set shot. And Magic now with 14 points and 6 assists. Foul away from the ball. It's Byron Scott holding on to Dale Ellis off the screen.
Scott is 4th team
Ellis
foul.
has 16 points in this game, and Scott picks up his 4th.
How about if you're Dale Ellis? You're working real hard. You pick up the 4th foul on Byron Scott. He goes and sets down, and you get to see Michael Cooper, the Defensive Player of the Year. I'm not so sure that I would say, hey, Byron, don't get in foul trouble.
Frying pan and fire, they could call those 2 fellas. There's Ellis coming off the screen again. And he decided to go right back to it.
When he scores, it's always in rhythm. You notice how he's such a rhythm player.
Xavier McDaniel with a defensive board. It's 4-on-3. McDaniel cutting into the lead. Lakers by 8. They had led by 12, and McDaniel has 22. Pat Riley takes his timeout now as he sees a potential Seattle spurt coming up. 3:26 to go in the third. NBA Commissioner David Stern, one of the celebrities in the audience today. As some folks were asking him for autographs today, Doug, I said, this is an indication the league really is in when the commissioner is also signing autographs in addition to Magic and Tom Chambers and the like.
He's done a fabulous job. Right now, the NBA is the hottest thing going, and he has to be given a lot of credit for that. The playoffs have been fantastic. The attendance all throughout the season has been great. You've got a lot of young superstars, so things look great.
A cacophony of sound at the Seattle Coliseum. For LA, one player with 4 personals. Chamber with 4 for Seattle. Scott with 4 for LA. Everybody else with 3. Lakers by 8. Beat LA, the chant coming up from the crowd.
Dale Ellis is actually playing small forward now against James Worthy.
Johnson had to throw it up as the shot clock had almost expired. Kevin Williams over Magic. Eddie Johnson runs it down.
Seattle's gone to a quicker lineup right now. They have 4 small players in. Xavier McDaniel's actually playing power forward. Lucas is the center. Ellis is the small forward.
Ellis lost the handle, but he was fouled on the penetration.
Looks like they're trying to match speed with speed right now.
The foul is on Michael Cooper, his 3rd.
3 on Cooper now. And
penalty.
Now both teams are in the penalty.
See if, when the Lakers come down, if they try to go to James Worthy, if they keep the matchup Dale Ellis against James Worthy, see if they try to milk that matchup. It's tough to try to play James Worthy into the pivot if you're a Dale Ellis and normally used to playing big guard.
Ellis with 17 points now. Alton Lister back into the lineup. Lucas will take a rest. Abdul-Jabbar is on the bench for the Lakers now as Michael Thompson is playing center.
Lister into the Sonic lineup.
Lakers 88-81. Magic has the smaller Kevin Williams posted. Ellis with a big defensive play, but Worthy keeps it alive and jams it. What a player. After Ellis made a terrific defensive play, James Worthy, with that tremendous athleticism, just went after the ball and then took it straight to the hoop.
Oh, boy, I tell you, this breaks your back right here. Dale Ellis, great effort, then he makes a second effort, can't get it. James Worthy, one power dribble, takes off, goes up over your 7-foot center and slams the ball. I got a good trivia question. How did the Lakers acquire James Worthy?
I'll give the fans a few minutes to think it over and start some arguments in lounges across America.
How did they acquire James Worthy and how did they acquire Magic Johnson? I'll just give you, and then you can think about it and I'll tell you later.
All right, I'll remember to re-ask. 2:22 to go in the third. Lakers by 10. Illegal defense against Los Angeles.
Illegal defense, a warning on the Lakers.
That's the first warning, so it'll be a new shot clock inbound on the near sideline.
The Sonics, new 24-second clock.
Clement Johnson gets in for Lister now. Eddie Johnson and Kevin Williams in the backcourt, along with Dale Ellis. 3 guards, and Xavier McDaniel and Clement Johnson up front for Seattle. Kevin Williams from the perimeter. Clement Johnson battling to keep it alive. There's Williams getting the loose ball. He's fouled. Foul situation, swinging just ever so slightly toward Los Angeles in terms of foul trouble.
A few years ago, Pat Riley had a saying, no rebounds, no rings. This year in the playoffs, the Lakers have been rebounding very well. They've out-rebounded their opponents 8 per game. Today, the offensive rebounding of the Seattle Supersonics has kept them alive in this game, because without that, I think LA would be pushed up to about a 16 or 17-point lead.
And let's check the free throw situation on a team basis. The Lakers have 22 of 26 This is the 22nd free throw, and only 14 have been made by Seattle.
2 minutes.
Lakers with a big free throw edge once again and a 9-point lead. 1:55 to go in the third quarter. Shot clock to 8. Wes Matthews from the perimeter. Wes has taken 2 shots, hit them both in limited bench play. He's had to play some today after not playing previously in the series due to foul trouble on Byron Scott and now Irvin Johnson. There's a mismatch somewhere as A.C. Green stepped out. It was Shaney who was open.
Well, the Lakers are really scrambling defensively, forcing tough shots.
Knocked into the expensive seats. Worthy blocks the Russ Shaney attempted perimeter shot. 5 seconds on the shot clock.
They've got to look to get a quick one. Look for maybe a Dale Ellis coming off the screen. They like to screen him down on this weak side.
Eddie Johnson penetrating, scooping and scoring.
Eddie Johnson.
With 11 now, Johnson had 8 first quarter points when he came in to relieve Dale Ellis, who had picked up 2 quick fouls. Lakers by 9. A minute to go in the third quarter. Kevin Williams thought he had a steal. Instead, he gets a personal.
The foul is on Kevin Williams.
James Worthy in the post. He got caught switching. Kevin Williams in the post. Kevin Williams is a good defensive player, but he cannot handle James Worthy down in the post. The Lakers are the kind of team, they read mismatches. They make sure the ball gets in the hands of the right people at the right time. You know, I said a while ago, Bob, the NBA is a game of mismatches. And what you do is you try to run a play to give your team an advantage in an advantageous position, whether that be a screen and a switch, or whether that be getting a player the ball where he can do with it what he can do best. And that's the teams that are successful. When you have talented players, get them to the ball within their strengths.
59 seconds to go in the third quarter. James Worthy's playoff high was 30. He's getting close to that. 29 now for Worthy. And the Lakers with an 11-point lead. 12 had been the biggest Laker lead. It led by 6 at the half. They expanded it here in the most previous recent 12 minutes. There's Ellis having to put it on the floor and firing and missing. Clement Johnson. Big offensive board.
Again, offensive rebounding, but don't celebrate because here comes Worthy.
Loose ball foul against Los Angeles. A.C. Green has 3.
A.C. Green, his third.
Lakers lead it by 9 with 33 seconds to go in the third quarter. 2 Laker players are on the bench with 4 fouls. Magic Johnson and Byron Scott. Chambers has 4 for
Clement Johnson
Seattle.
will shoot 1 plus the penalty for 2.
Nate McMillan checking back in for Dale Ellis.
Well, the free throw line right now has really been the bugaboo for the Sonics. That's where they were down in the first 2 ball games, and today it's been the same story.
Seattle shooting only 58% from the line.
Well, you won't beat the Lakers doing that.
14 of 24. They've had their opportunities. Worthy leans in, gets it off the glass.
Worthy.
Your basic lean in off the glass, off a double team.
Worthy now with 31 points. The turnover, 2 seconds to go in the half, and Wes Matthews throws up the prayer at the end of 3 quarters. The Lakers lead it by 11, 97-86.
Sonics 86. And for your entertainment, the Sonics.
Our little trivia with the NBA, Doug, the questions were, how did the Lakers acquire Magic Johnson and then James Worthy? First Johnson, what's the answer?
Well, Magic Johnson was picked up. Gail Goodrich, who was a great player for the Los Angeles Lakers, went to the New Orleans Jazz, and part of it was they gave a #1 pick to the Lakers for that, which became Irvin Magic Johnson. And for James Worthy, Don Ford, who was the starting forward for the Lakers, went to Cleveland in exchange for a #1 pick that became James Worthy. I think teams sometimes roll the dice and things happen good.
Bernie Bickerstaff sees his team trailing by 11 for the final 12 minutes. Lakers lead 2-0. Chambers with a feed from McMillan.
That is open. That's what I talked about, is when a guy comes off a screen, the guy setting the screen is open because they're hedging out to prevent the pass from coming.
Lakers by 9. Cooper. Played by Ellis. Traveled with the ball. Good defense by Dale Ellis. So the Sonics have another chance to get back in it. They're trailing by 9 with 11:32 to go in this ball game. Sonics have their starting team on the floor. Ellis getting down low but missing off the dribble.
So they force him to put it on the floor. He's missed most every shot. I think he's made one shot when he's had to dribble.
Wes Matthews, stolen by Ellis. Cooper fouled him at the timeline. And that gives the Lakers their first team foul. And, of course, team fouls are going to play an important role in this game, possibly later in the game. But for that to happen, the Sonics are going to have to start shooting better than 58% from the line.
Hell, a poor pass right that time, but Dale Ellis was in the right spot, picked it off.
Ellis for 3. Just barely ticked the iron.
Well, Michael Cooper got a hand in his face. He stepped back to look to shoot a 3.
Ellis has not hit a 3 in this series. Cooper inside the three-point line. Rebound Lister. Sonics run. Stolen away. Abdul-Jabbar will never catch that one. Sonics dodge a bullet there.
Kareem could have caught that pass from Worthy when Worthy was a second grader and Kareem was the first-year player in this league, but he couldn't quite get it now. A little bit too far ahead of him.
Abdul-Jabbar is nearly 5 years older than Doug Collins, the coach of the Chicago Bulls.
You got it. And I tell you what, he's still a great player.
Magic back in the game, defensing and stealing the ball from Nate McMillan. That looked like over and back. It was over and back, in my humble opinion. No call, and now a foul. Bernie Bickerstaff all over the officials. I think it went over and back.
The foul is on Lister.
We'll get a chance to watch. Let's see where he's at.
First team
Nope,
foul.
he was not there. That was a good call.
Worthy on the line for
Cooper had not gotten across the timeline, so the pass was not over. It was back. Sound like a Philadelphia lawyer here. Lister in serious foul trouble.
Seattle had 2 opportunities to cut into the lead. They turned it over twice in a row. You just cannot miss free throws and commit turnovers. You know, Bernie Bickerstaff said it before the game as he was talking to you. He said, you know, we realized that we could do everything we want to do, and it still might not be good enough because of the ability of the Los Angeles Lakers. So let's give them some credit. It's not necessarily the mistakes of Seattle because they're playing a great game. LA's just a super team.
On a mission. Lakers lead it by 11. 10 minutes remaining. A double on Chambers. And the foul is going to be on
The foul is
Michael
on
Thompson.
Michael Thompson.
This program authorized
His second-
under rights granted by the National Basketball
second
Association
team foul.
solely for the entertainment of our audience, and any publication, reproduction,
Chambers
or
at
other
the
use of the
line for
pictures,
the
descriptions, or
Supersonics,
accounts of this
shooting
game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited. Doug, how big is the third game win on the road in a series you get into a championship series like this in terms of going ahead for looking for the sweep?
Well, what it does is it takes the heart out of a team that's thinking they could get back in the series. You know, it's like, for instance, the Detroit game today. If Boston wins that game and goes up 3-0, Detroit might be able to get one win, but you think Boston's probably going to go home and close it out. You know, with the Lakers, you know, they'd like to play as few games as possible. And if they can win this ball game today, they're going to come out with the idea of putting this Sonic team away. And, you know, Chambers right now getting booed, missing both free throws, and he's just having a miserable ball game. This is as poorly as I've ever seen Tom Chambers play, especially in a big ball game.
Chambers has only 9 points, Kareem missing the sky hook there.
It should be goaltending, too.
They'll count the basket. Chambers will go to the line. Following the boos, Tom Chambers answers with some physical play.
He gets a break here also because Michael Cooper goaltends the shot. Let's watch Cooper come into the picture. He's bumped. He throws it at the basket. And there's Cooper with the block. That's something that Chambers needs to get himself going. We see a different angle from it. It's a play like that maybe that gets you going. Now, he's an explosive player. He's capable of getting you 16, 18 points in an 8 or 9 minute period of time, and there's still that kind of time left in this game.
9.5 minutes remaining, and remember, it's only a 9-point Laker lead. Double team on Abdul-Jabbar. Bad pass. Chambers banks it home and gets a three-point opportunity. Just as Doug Collins told you, maybe something like that can get him going.
The foul is on Michael Cooper, his fifth.
5 fouls on Cooper.
Let's watch it. Cooper with the block. Chambers, so his last 2 baskets have been prayers that have been answered.
And the Lakers' lead is cut to 6.
This is just what Tom Chambers has needed. A steal. You're going to see Nate McMillan throw ahead to him in the open court, taking it to the basket. Continuation, the shot goes. He has an opportunity for 2 consecutive three-point plays after missing 2 free throws. Look at it, he has 5 points in the first half on 2 for 9 from the field, 9 points in the second half, 3 for 4 from the floor. But again, I tell you, he's an explosive player. He's the kind of guy that can get you a lot of points in a hurry. And when he gets it going, he has no conscience. He'll keep putting it up there.
From the Coliseum in Seattle, along with Doug Collins, this is Bob Neal. 9:08 to go in the game. Lakers by 5. They had led by 12. Illegal defense called on Seattle, and that stops the Beat LA chant from the crowd.
That'll be on Maurice Lucas. He crossed the midpoint of the basket. You have weak side defense, and he crossed over to the weak side, and that was where the illegal defense was called.
Chant coming up again from the 15,000 sold-out Seattle Coliseum. What a move by Worthy. This is the bank shot. Lucas to McMillan. 4 on 2. McDaniel cuts it to 3. 99-96, LA. The Lakers have some players in foul trouble, too. 5 on Cooper, 5 on Magic Johnson, 4 on Byron Scott. What a move by Abdul-Jabbar. It doesn't go, but he goes to the line.
Well, the double team was slow developing there. You're doubling down from the top against Kareem. When he put it on the floor, Maurice Lucas did his job. He took him away from the sky hook. He spun him back to the middle, but there was nobody there to clamp him on the double team. The double team was slow getting there and gave Kareem the shot coming back to the middle.
Kevin Williams entered the ball game for Dale Ellis. With 8:18 to go in this ball game. Lakers 101-96 over Seattle. Lakers have 4 team fouls. Sonics 2.
Well, they should be able to try to get something going to the hoop. See if they go to Tom Chambers against Michael Thompson. Let him isolate, maybe drive the ball from the top of the floor.
McDaniel off the screen. McDaniel's heating up. 26 points now. LA has not scored a field goal this quarter. No field goals for LA in this quarter. Chambers saves it. Hustling play by Tom Chambers. There's Cooper. And we've got an LA ball. What a big big change in momentum that could be, as a Sonics basket could have cut the lead to 1.
Maurice Lucas would like to have that pass back. He threw a lazy pass. Looked like the ball slipped out of his hand. Great hustle here. Look, watch the camera work. Good hustle. The ball off Kevin Williams. That was a great shot there, but Maurice Lucas threw a floating pass out to Chambers. He looked at Chambers and he said, my fault, because Chambers was wide open at the free throw line.
Eddie Johnson gets Nate McMillan. Eddie Johnson, Kevin Williams. No, now they're going to not allow Johnson in.
Well, they ruled he was not at the scorer's table ready to check in yet.
7:32 to go in the game. Lakers lead it by 3. They had led it by 12.
Look at the matchup. They got Xavier McDaniel now playing Magic Johnson.
Kevin Williams with a foul. Lucas tried to front Magic as he came around and overplayed him. Kevin Williams had to slide down and try to slip the ball away, and in doing so committed his the third team foul. There's the foul trouble we're talking about. Cooper and Irvin Johnson with 5. Lister with 5 for Seattle. Johnson looking for Abdul-Jabbar against the shorter Maurice Lucas. Now they isolate him with 7 on the shot clock. And get the sky hook. That's the first field goal of the quarter for L.A. with 6:54 remaining in the game.
A little over 5 minutes. Interesting thing, they were still able to maintain a 5-point lead throughout that.
Did you see McDaniel change his shot? He was going for the jam.
Magic Johnson tripped on a screen coming across there, and as a result, McDaniel wide open.
McDaniel playing Magic Johnson. Eddie Johnson. 3-on-3. McDaniel. It's a 1-point game. McDaniel has 30.
He's got it going in here in the fourth period. He and Chambers now both are feeling it.
Cooper beating Kevin Williams.
Michael Cooper.
Big basket to quiet the crowd out of Michael Cooper. Timeout, Seattle. Lakers lead it by 3, 5:58 remaining.
What happened on the previous play? Magic Johnson in the circle. Xavier McDaniel's going to cut baseline. Watch Magic Johnson. He trips over Byron Scott's foot, or Kareem's foot. Frees McDaniel up. He's going to go for the jam, as Bob said, but look, Kareem comes over. He makes an acrobatic shot, and Xavier McDaniel right now is carrying this team 4 for 4 for the quarter for 8 points, and he and Chambers are getting it going at the right time right now to get Seattle back in this game. They trail by only 3, still almost 6 minutes to play.
The Lakers 2 out of 8, Seattle 7 for 9, shooting from the floor. 105-102 LA, 5:49 remaining. Down to McDaniel, going to the hot hand. He has 30. Back to Eddie Johnson. Travel. We talked at the beginning of the game about the big free throw difference. And LA's been hitting theirs. Seattle's been missing theirs. And that's the reason LA has the lead in terms of point production.
Seattle's plus 11 at the free throw line.
Cooper over Eddie Johnson. Chambers, big rebound. Kevin Williams, nice drive.
Loose ball foul on Lucas.
Going for the ball as it rattled around above the rim.
Lucas, his third, 4th team foul.
5:17 remaining. Lakers continue to dodge the bullet despite ice-cold shooting from the floor in the fourth quarter. An occasional turnover, a great hustle, a good rebound, a foul here or there, and the Lakers have maintained their lead. Nice pass to Worthy. Magic Johnson. Worthy sneaked around McDaniel.
They run that little baseline screen across, flash the man to the ball as well as anybody in the league, and they're throwing it to Worthy, who can finish.
Worthy's first field goal of this quarter. Ellis for 3. Doesn't get it. Good hustle by Magic Johnson. Took the rebound away from Clement Johnson. Look at that pass.
Well, they need a quick timeout now. That's a surge from LA, and they need a time.
4:38 to go in the game. Lakers led it by 3, and then all of a sudden they're up by 7. 5 of the Eastern Conference battle between Detroit and Boston. That's at 8 o'clock Eastern time on Tuesday night. Doug Collins and I will be heading back to the East Coast. What about that series? Detroit today really manhandling Boston.
Well, I think that what happened today was Detroit got into the running game. They had 73 points in the first half, and now you've got to be concerned if you're Boston with Parrish going down. You don't know what he's going to do, and they've had that other injury factors, and Detroit has to feel confident now. They've got to win in the series, and they have to feel that they can even this thing up tomorrow at 2-2.
Here, 109-102 Lakers. Chambers from the baseline, 109-104. 4:21 remaining. Chambers with 17 now.
We see Seattle trying to extend their defense a little bit, put a little pressure, but they do not want to foul, as both teams are now in the penalty going into the last 4 minutes.
Look at Magic Johnson on the drive. He's fouled. Continuation counted.
Well, that's just great strength on Magic Johnson's part. He's 6'9", well over 200 pounds, and he turned the corner. Once he gets his head and shoulders past you, watch this, he gets his head and shoulders past you, and he just overpowered Nate McMillan. And when he drove the ball to the basket, there's no one there to bother him. Magic Johnson, the league MVP, and how about the 4 years of his life? You can look back at what happened to him as a senior in high school. His team wins the state championship. He's the most valuable player. As a sophomore in college, his team wins the national NCAA tournament. He's the most valuable player. As a rookie in the pros, his team wins the NBA champion, and he's the most valuable player. But you know what? The guy's heart still burns deep to win. I tell you, you got to give him a lot of credit.
You saw the discrepancy in the free throw situations as Magic hit his. 112-104. Lakers, 4 minutes remaining in this game. McMillan, block shot. They're calling a foul on LA. And a goaltending. The basket will count. No foul, but goaltending.
The rule of the ball had hit the backboard and it was on its downward flight.
You can block it against the backboard, but you can't block it after it's hit the backboard.
Once it's starting to come down, you've got to leave it alone.
Abdul-Jabbar, beautiful pass to Worthy for the jam. And now the Lakers expanding their lead to 8 with 3:40 remaining. Worthy with 39 points.
You know, the Lakers have never given up the lead. They've given it to 1 point, but they've never given it up.
McDaniel. The X-Man has 32. There's the pressure, but Magic breaks it sometimes. It looks so easily. 3:18 remaining. Lakers have a 2-0 lead. Into Abdul-Jabbar. They leave him from the double team. He goes to the left hand and misses there. Clinton Johnson.
Got to look for Chambers.
14 seconds on the shot clock.
You know, that's the way you have to play Kareem. You've got to force him into using that left-hand hook, and hopefully he misses.
Lister replaces Clement Johnson. Lister with 5 fouls checks back in. Magic's playing with 5 also. 8 on the shot clock. McDaniel over Green. Xavier McDaniel with 34. He is red hot. It's now a 4-point game. How about Seattle just won't say die.
How about his front line in college? Antoine Carr, Cliff Levingston, and Xavier McDaniel.
That ranks in there with the Worthy Perkins line that went with Michael Jordan. The foul on Seattle, and if that's Lister, he's out of there.
The foul is on Lister.
That'll be 6.
His 6th personal foul.
Lucas back in here, but remember, it is just a 4-point game, although LA has been playing with a 5- and 4-point lead throughout the game, and they seem to sense it when Seattle gets close.
Well, they got it to 1. Seattle cut it to 1, and Cooper had a big jumper to push it back up to 3. Remember now, this Seattle team was down 5 points in regulation to Houston under a minute to play and came back to win that basketball game. So there's no quit in the Seattle team. They also have 3-point shooters. The X-Man and Dale Ellis and Chambers all can knock in a 3-point shot, which changes the game.
Lakers by 6, 2:17 to go, and Abdul-Jabbar with 27 points. What a game he's played. A lot of minutes, too. Stripped away by Green. Got it on the way up.
That might be a breakaway. I don't know if they're going to call that.
Jess Kersey says no.
No breakaway.
They were asking. As you asked, it was funny. Jess Kersey shook his head no at the scoring table asking the same question.
Actually, he was spotting up to shoot a three-pointer here, and A.C. Green, great hands, kicks the ball loose, and look at the speed with the basketball that A.C. Green possesses. At Oregon State, he was a terrific player out on the perimeter.
It's amazing. 6'9", 225 pounds, and he runs the open court like a guard. Or like some of the guards used to.
And you know what's really interesting about it? I think he's had one bucket in the game, been to the free throw line one time, and he steps up there, and in a key moment, makes two big free throws.
Only 8 points for A.C. Green. Lakers by 8. 2 minutes remaining in the game.
In the quarter. 2 minutes.
Down to Chambers. The pass right into the double team. He gets it back to McMillan, who scores. Nice feed from Chambers.
That's the importance of having big guards. You cut to the basket, get it back, and you can still shoot over your bigger people.
The problem that Seattle has is what all teams has, stopping the LA offense. Shot clock to 6. Dale Ellis did just that. The steal. McDaniels in front. Big miss by McDaniel, who's done so many good things today. Cooper. Partially blocked. Back come the Sound.
He might pull up and shoot a three.
Over Abdul-Jabbar. He's going to get a three-point opportunity. You were right, Doug. You didn't say how he'd go for the three.
Good.
That ties him for his career high.
His fourth.
You know, you still got a lot of time. There's 109 remaining, which is 2 or 3 possessions. If Xavier McDaniel makes this shot, let's watch it here. He's going to 6'7". Look at him handle the ball. He jumps. Kareem pushes him with his off arm. Boy, Maurice Lucas did the smart thing, leaving that ball alone, and you see the reaction. But they need this free throw right now to cut this lead to 3. You got 2 or 3 possessions. The big thing is, Bob, what you said is, can they stop L.A.? That's going to be the key. It's not going to be one on the offensive end, but can they stop them defensively?
Well, the pressure's here. 3 guards in the game now. Lucas goes out. It's Kevin Williams, Nate McMillan, and Dale Ellis are the guards.
They've got Chambers playing Kareem in the post.
They got to look for that. 6 seconds on the shot clock.
Gonna have to get it up. Sky hook.
Chambers with a rebound. Lakers by 3. Timeout Seattle. 42 seconds remaining. Oh my, what a game in Seattle. Let's go to our studios in Atlanta. Charlie Neal and Atlanta Hawks head coach Mike Fratello.
Thank you very much, Bob. And we've seen some excitement from the Seattle team as far as coming back. They haven't been able to get over the hump, though, Mike.
Well, Xavier McDaniels just had an incredible second half here for them, keeping him in the game. And it's interesting, every time they pull within 1 or 2 points where you just think they're going to get over it, L.A. goes to one of their go-to guys. 6 out of the last 7 scores for the Lakers have come from either James Worthy, Magic Johnson, or Kareem. Go-to guys, your all-star players that can get you a big basket when you need it.
Well, you heard Doug Collins just say a moment ago the fact that they're going to have to do something on defense, though. They're doing a good job on offense, but they've not been able to stop the Lakers as far as their defense is concerned.
They're getting their scores, they're getting their opportunities, but you need some big stops now, especially down the stretch here. If you're going to have a chance to win the game, you have to stop the opposition from scoring. And, you know, talk about go-to guys. I think Doug Collins has a pretty good go-to guy named Jordan over there.
Okay, let's take it back to Seattle. Bob Neal and Doug Collins. Gentlemen.
Thank you, gentlemen. Here, 42 seconds remaining. You see the story. Sellout crowd, Seattle Coliseum. Seattle gamely battling to stay alive in the West. Lakers lead it 2-0. And a 3-point lead. Xavier McDaniel with 37, a career high here today.
You know, Bob, now the strategy comes into play. There's 42 seconds on the clock, 21 on the shot clock. You can extend this now to 2 possessions for yourself and 1 for the Lakers. So if you can go down and get a quick score, get something going to the basket, maybe get to the free throw line, now LA is going to come down and they're going to get you the ball back. So you can get 2 possessions to 1 here. If you can score twice and keep them from scoring, you got a chance to win the ball game. So I think you're going to see Seattle try to get something quickly going to the basket, get a shot up at least with 32 seconds or so on the clock, so that they'll get the ball back with 8 or 10 seconds on the shot clock.
And as we've been saying the last few minutes of this game, Seattle must find another way to stop L.A. Last time with a shot clock running down, it was Ellis stepping in front of a pass with a steal.
Well, they did a nice job circling the post twice in a row. They tried to go down to Kareem, and Chambers did a nice job circling the post, and then Dale Ellis picked the pass off.
Right in front of our television table, Xavier McDaniel.
They will not pressure the ball. They'll try to lay back in the passing lane, maybe try to pick off a pass, or double team immediately if the guy comes off the screen.
Nate McMillan, 40 seconds. You see it on the lower right. Remaining in the game. Seattle down by 3. There's the screen. There's the Ellis shot. Partially blocked by Cooper. The defensive player of the year doing what he does so well. And Seattle commits the foul.
The foul is on McDaniel.
What a big play. It looked like
Cooper.
Ellis was open.
Well, they did a nice job. They ran the set play. He comes off a screen by Lucas. Lucas tries to step over and get Cooper. Look at Cooper's athletic ability. He actually jumped on the other side of Maurice Lucas to block that shot. What a great play.
Talk about defense, the job that Cooper has done here. Dale Ellis at the end of the third quarter had 19 points, has failed to score in the entire fourth quarter. So you pointed it out at the time, Doug, time out on the floor. When Scott sat down, you said Dale Ellis is in for just more bad news. Scott goes down, the defensive player of the year comes in, and he did even a better job of clamping Dale Ellis.
Well, Michael Cooper is such a great athlete that he can, and he's skinny. You know, so he can get around those screens. He avoids screens. A lot of players cannot avoid screens. Well, Michael Cooper has the ability to avoid a screen, and then also he has the ability to block a shot. And those two keys make him a great defensive player. Look where he takes off from now. He's actually beat. He's not even in the picture when he has the ball. Look at him. He jumps. I don't know how he got a piece of that shot. That
Lucas got a
unbelievable block shot.
And Lucas got a piece of Cooper as he went through. You know, we said two things would be keys in this game, among others, and one was the free throw situation. In the second half, LA's hit 16 of 17. Seattle only 6 of 11. That's a 10-point difference. It's only a 5-point game. And in rebounds in this ball game, LA once again basically controlling the boards. LA with 40 rebounds. And Seattle with 33.
Well, I think when you look at it also, that let's look at the total free throw picture in the ball game. They're beat 17 at the free throw line, and as I said to start the ball game, in this series they have been beaten 12 per game at the free throw line. They've been outscored 12 per game, actually have outscored the Lakers from the floor. And it's not that it has anything to do with the officiating, it's just that the Lakers are doing a better job getting inside and getting fouled.
What a basketball team, the Los Angeles Lakers. It's Boston leading the Eastern Conference Series, 3-1. They play again tomorrow in Detroit. Then on TBS on the Superstation Tuesday night, Doug Collins and I will be at the Boston Garden for Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Championship Series. I don't know which one of those teams will be able, Detroit or Boston, to handle LA anyway. Lakers by 5.
They got to get
seconds
in
to go. It's open for Lucas. He's fouled but doesn't get the basket.
Well, you can see that time what happened is the Lakers were playing the three-point shooters. They really extended their defense to try to keep somebody from catching and shooting a quick three. They allowed him to throw in and look to go to the basket. Look how they've extended their defense. Everybody way out above the three-point line, and now Lucas underneath. The Lakers were going to concede a 2. They did not want to give up a quick 3.
And that's all they'll concede here. It does stop the clock. Lucas gets one. 27 seconds remaining in the game. And a Lucas basket here will cut it to 3. Both teams, in the penalty, of course, were inside 2 minutes. 27 seconds to go.
Well, that's a big miss right there because now they've got to foul immediately. They've got to foul.
No calls coming. They're all over Cooper.
Michael Cooper's got to be careful dribbling around in traffic like that. But what happens, it's a 4-point game right now. If he would have made that, you could go down, you could defend, not foul, get a timeout, shoot a 3 to tie. With it being a 4-point game, you've got to foul. Otherwise, the clock's going to run out on you.
Cooper goes to the free throw line. Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. I'll tell you, you talk about bad blood building up. Detroit and Boston. Lame Beer and Bird went at it today. Lame Beer with just a brutal slam of Larry Bird to the floor. Bird took a swing on the floor, then threw the ball. Both got ejected from that game. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Game 4 tomorrow, and then we'll have Game 5 on the Superstation, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. McDaniel gets his own board. Put it back up and in. 10 seconds in the game. Lakers by 4.
You got a foul. Foul AC Green.
That's exactly what happened with 7 seconds remaining.
Got to foul him. As soon as he caught that ball, you got to wrap him up. 2 seconds is valuable.
I keep remembering the almost prophetic words of Bernie Bickerstaff right before the game. If we do everything right, we still know that we've got our hands full.
Let's watch Michael Cooper. The minute AC Green, the moment he catches this ball, you've got to have the presence of mind to foul him. Right here, when he catches that ball, you've got to wrap him up because he's not the best free throw shooter they have on the team.
Replaces Lucas for Seattle.
I don't think Seattle has any timeouts left. They've got to rush the ball up the floor and look to shoot a 3 in transition, which is actually the easiest way to get one. With no timeouts, it also causes you to burn up some time on the clock.
Green misses.
Not yet.
Both of them. 4 seconds.
Ball was tipped.
It was tipped. It's Seattle's ball with 3 seconds in the game. Lakers lead by 4.
Well, what the Lakers don't want to do right now is foul. Just let them score or whatever. Make them use a couple seconds. Don't foul. And then make sure you get the ball in. If you can't get it in quickly, call timeout.
3-point shot attempt coming up here by McDaniel. He got it at the buzzer, but the Lakers win it 122 to 121. The Lakers now take a 3-game-to-none lead over a very game, interesting and exciting, but somewhat undermanned Seattle Supersonic team. Doug Collins and I will be back to the Seattle Coliseum in just a moment with our player of the game, but first we'll have these messages and then be right back.
Thanks to RS.
NBA has been brought to you by Honda, who invite you to experience the Civic DX hatchback at your local Honda dealer, and by Miller Lite. For great taste, there is only one light beer.
Well, there were 2 players with great individual efforts today, more than 2, but 2 really stood out. So we're going to go with 2 players of the game on behalf of Miller Lite. Turner Broadcasting proud to donate $1,000 to the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation in the name, first of all, of Xavier McDaniel, who also had 9 rebounds and had a career game here.
He was spectacular.
And, of course, James Worthy, who bested his previous career playoff high of 30 with 39 and 7 rebounds. Worthy was there. I think I'll remember more than any time else. Dale Ellis, a great defensive play. Worthy still getting the ball away from him, driving to the basket and jamming over the 7-foot Alton Lister. And Doug, we were talking right at the end of the game about Bernie Bickerstaff's comment. Even if we do everything right, it might not be enough. And I think that's really accurate.
I think when he goes into the locker room and he talks to his team today, he's going to be very proud of them. You're never, you know, it's tough to ever accept defeat. But I think Bernie Bickerstaff right now will tell his team, guys, I'm proud of the way you played. You gave me everything you had. We fell 1 point short. But let me tell you something. If we can come back and give that same kind of effort, we've got nothing to be ashamed of.
Well, Doug Collins, you got an opportunity now to go back to Chicago with your Bulls and keep working on the draft.
Lord knows we need some help.
And telling me nothing. I keep wanting to know the inside story.